most of you have seen me here in church on a Sunday morning sitting in the back row, usually with the 3 grandchildren and my long-suffering friend Denise. Denise will probably tell you that I'm very, very, very upfront. I love life. I absolutely love each day that I have above the ground. But unfortunately, from my waist down, I'm a total wreck. I have rheumatoid and osteoarthritis that I've had for absolutely, so many years I can't remember, to be honest with you. And Denise has prayed for me on occasion, haven't you, Denise? I'll tell you about that later. But yesterday, because of the car park and the new line dancing, I thought I'll walk the short walk, and it is just that, a short walk back home, from home to here. I got round the corner, and Rory's mum, your mother-in-law, will tell you I was an absolute mess, and she was accompanied by Kevin. And Kevin actually yelled at Promise and said, "Come on, come you here," and the two of them helped me back to my seat. I was that bad, my knees were wrecked. I'm waiting on a new knee operation, and I'm literally waiting for a foot operation on both my feet, which is why I'm not so mobile. So basically what happened yesterday is Kevin said to me, "Would you like me to pray for you?" And I says, "Like me to pray?" I believe in the power of prayer. I absolutely believe that God gives me what I can handle and what I can't. He basically said, when your body has had enough, you need to rest. And that's basically what I do. I'm full of wee rests, my husband will tell you. He has a name for me, he calls me Lightning. And I think that's actually because I move so slow. So yesterday, these 2 men, Kevin and Promise, get down on their knees. Now, to me, it's a long time since I've been down on my knees to pray, because I used to, when I first had to take communion on the feet, literally, and not get down, I wasn't able to kneel before God, and to me that meant so much, because my body had given up, but the rest of me hadn't. And Kevin said to me, "Do you believe in God?" I says, "I do with all my heart, because God is my anchor. God died for me. Jesus died for me. He died for me on that cross. And to somebody that can do that, my goodness, how could you not love that?" But anyway, yesterday these 2 men were down, and one, they asked me, "Could they touch me?" And I said, "Yes, certainly." Because I believe that if you touch that heart will touch this part. That's the heart. So down they went. I couldn't get down. I couldn't even get up at times. And I started to feel, as they were praying, I started to feel the heat. Now the heat was, it was a very warm day yesterday. And for any of those skeptics in here, I'll tell you something, yes, it was warm, and I do feel warm. But there was a radiating pain. Literally, this radiating pain that was in my knee was now heat. There was heat in the feet, and there was heat in my knee. And I felt this heat. It wasn't a burning heat, it was like a, oh gosh, what could you say? I can't even explain. But I knew at that stage that there was something happening, because my feet were literally not on fire, but there was a heat present in them, and my knee as well. So even when the hand was removed from my knee, I still felt this heat. Now somebody had said to me earlier, "Oh, you'll be dancing later on," and I said, "You know something, I wish I could." So halfway through, when this prayer had finished, they let me sit there, and the family had joined me, which was a lovely day for me, but that doesn't often happen, because Granny can't keep up. And you can probably tell that with the grandchildren on a week-to-week basis. They really have the energy that I don't have. So anyway, I sat there and they joined me. And the music started later on. And I thought to myself, this is the only thought, "Sandra, they don't call you Thomas. Do not doubt. Get up there. You know you want to." And before I knew it, there was me. Now, I wasn't my full glorious self, but I was up there and I was giving it all. And I was enjoying it every minute with Brian at the side down there, keeping me right with the steps, because I don't think I quite got it. But we were enjoying it. And I thought to myself, if my husband could only see this. Well, my husband last night did see the power of God in action. because last night was the first night's sleep I've had in over 20 years.
Wow.
Over 20 years.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus.
And that peace, that inner peace that just left me going to sleep. Now, I haven't been able to stop crying this morning. The tears are still tripping me as I'm talking, but they're happy tears. Because I know in myself what I was capable of. And I know in myself what has happened. And I said to Denise when she came in this morning, I said, Denise, can you see what I've owned? She says, you have a dress, haven't you? She says, I don't usually see weird. And you have sandals, because I need support in my feet. Well, anyway, what I didn't tell you was that several weeks before that, I had a visit from this good lady here, Denise. And Denise also prayed, because I'm waiting for years for this operation, and I honestly thought I was going to have to go private with it, because I was getting worse and worse and worse. And Denise prayed that I would get word soon about the